And we're back at the desk. Where we left off, we just put the windows into our Voyager model. However, I made a rather large oversight that we need to fix before we can continue. Let's have a look. So what's the problem now, you may ask? Well, we put those windows in. What I failed to do was light block the window, which means that now the light is shining straight through the paint that we put on. So we're going to have to pop the windows back out, and we're going to have to repaint them with a black coat, which will obviously stop the light. If possible, what I'd like to do is paint the rear side with the black, which should mean that we don't have to do anything to the front, as the front is as we would desire it, really. Because we used PVA to glue them in, popping them out shouldn't be too bad. Just a little bit of pressure and it'll crack off. There'll be a little bit of cleaning up to do just to remove the PVA from the surface, and we should be able to do that without destroying the paint as well. I gave it some extra thought, and the black paint will have to be on the front. So if I black out the rear, the light is still going to hit the plastic, become diffused and light up the whole thing. So the black will have to be on the external face. And here we can see with the black done, no more spillage. Needs a little bit of tidying up because now we've got tons of layers of paint on there, but we'll do that by hand. Remember when I was poking windows out? Well, whoopsie-doodly, I did some damage to the hull, because the brush was too big for the window slot. I've taken my scalpel and I've tried to smooth it out as much as possible. I just need to respray this little individual section piece. With that done, we can now glue those windows back in. I won't show you that because you've seen it already. Let's go. While that's drying, it's time to spray our deflector front piece. I have some Tamiya flat earth and the relevant thinners, and I've mixed it down into a nice paint, which we shall now airbrush on. I haven't used my Badger for a couple of years, so I've made sure that it works, and it does. So we'll do a couple test sprays, make sure that the paint is mixed up nicely, and then we'll spray the front deflector and get it glued in. Nicely coloured in, a nice matte even coat. There is some detailing to go onto the front, but we'll get to that once the model is fully assembled and I'm doing all the detail painting. Let's glue it onto the deflector. Alright, sticking this on is a two-step process. Step 1, we stick the front plate to the deflector, which is easy enough. We have our little dipply bits here, got some PVA in there. We want to overfill it, but we need to make sure it gets some nice solid adhesion. There. And now we just get it in there. Nope. Come on. There we go. Once that's dried, we'll then glue it into the front of the Voyager hull. With that dry, now comes the hard part. We have to get this deflector in there, line it. To start off with, I'm going to get a piece of masking tape and just put it onto the back so that it is easier come the final step of actually putting it in. Then we just need to
carefully dab on. Also, we don't want to overload it, otherwise it'll run down inside. But we just need to get a bead running around the deflector.
And now we just
carefully dangle it in. Apply some, come on, easy, easy. Get that off my thumb. Apply some very light pressure. Slide it around until we get it in place. That looks pretty good. Oop, come on, play ball. And then use the masking tape to temporarily affix it like so. Still holding it in place, we'll just take a tissue and make sure we mop up any spillage.
I filmed the intro for this video like a month ago, so I'm not even going to pretend to know what I intended to do in this video. But once that's dry, we will actually get on to installing the aft section. I noticed that for some reason I didn't spray some of the nacelle parts in the aft section, so we need to do that first. Touch it in, plug stuff in, and then we should be good to install the engineering hull central block, and then move on to the saucer. But until then, I'm Raven, and that's all from the desk. And then we'll just blah, 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 blah. And then we'll spray the front deflector, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll spray the front